Have you ever noticed a strange pattern? Every time a major system in our world shows signs of breaking, something unusual happens. A headline flashes across your screen about a banking crisis in Europe, a currency collapsing in South America, or political turmoil erupting somewhere unexpected. In the background, almost silently, another number starts to tick upwards: the price and adoption of Bitcoin. This is not a coincidence. It is not a random market fluctuation or a lucky break for early investors. It is a structural response to a world that feels increasingly fragile, a world where the systems we have always trusted are showing their cracks for everyone to see. This connection between global instability and Bitcoin's growth is one of the most important trends of our time. It's a signal. When people feel the ground shifting beneath their feet, they instinctively look for something solid to stand on. They look for an alternative. Think back to recent history. When banks in Cyprus limited withdrawals, people on the ground turned to Bitcoin. When hyperinflation made the currency in Argentina nearly worthless for saving, ordinary citizens started buying Bitcoin to preserve their family's wealth. In Nigeria, when access to the global financial system was restricted, a new generation embraced Bitcoin as a parallel economy. These are not isolated incidents. They are data points in a much larger story. The story is simple. When the rules of the old game are changed without warning, people start looking for a new game with rules that cannot be changed. Bitcoin represents that new game. It doesn't have a marketing team or a CEO to tell you it's a safe haven. It doesn't need to. Its resilience is demonstrated, not advertised. The evidence is seen every time a traditional financial lever is pulled and fails. Every time a government prints more money to solve a problem it created, it inadvertently writes an advertisement for a system with a fixed, predictable supply. This is why the rise of Bitcoin isn't accidental. It's a direct consequence of systemic failure. In this essay, we will explore this phenomenon from the ground up in a way that anyone can understand. We won't get lost in complex jargon or technical code. Instead, we will walk through exactly why chaos in the traditional world fuels interest in this new digital one. We will start by examining what happens when systems fail and what deep human needs that failure reveals. Then, we will look at why Bitcoin is uniquely built to be anti-fragile, a system that doesn't just survive chaos, but gets stronger from it. Finally, we will uncover the role of Bitcoin mining and give you clear, practical steps to consider as a beginner navigating this new landscape. When a crisis hits, it acts like a powerful spotlight, illuminating the hidden flaws in the systems we depend on every day. During times of stability, we rarely question the money in our bank account, the institutions that manage it. We trust that our savings will hold their value. We trust that we can access our money when we need it. We trust that the people in charge are making responsible decisions. But chaos shatters this trust. Suddenly, the invisible architecture of our financial world becomes painfully visible, and we are forced to confront its weaknesses head-on. It's in these moments that a fundamental human need emerges: the need for a neutral and predictable alternative. The first and most immediate failure revealed by chaos is inflation. When governments and central banks respond to economic pressure, by creating vast amounts of new money, the value of each individual dollar decreases. The value of each individual euro decreases. The value of each individual peso decreases. This isn't an abstract economic theory. It's a direct attack on your savings and your future. The money you worked hard to earn and set aside buys less and less each month. Your salary doesn't go as far. The dream of a comfortable retirement gets pushed further away. This debasement of currency isn't a bug. It's often a feature of modern economic policy. People begin to realize their wealth is melting away like an ice cube on a hot day, and they start searching for a container that doesn't leak. Beyond the slow erosion of inflation, chaos often brings about more aggressive forms of control. In a panic, governments may impose capital controls, limiting how much money you can withdraw from your own bank account. limiting how much you can send out of the country. Suddenly, your money is no longer truly yours. It's subject to permission from an authority that can change the rules at any moment. Your financial freedom is replaced by a system of gates and gatekeepers. This is a profound shock for many, as it reveals that our ownership of digital money in a bank is conditional. We are merely granted access, and that access can be revoked when it becomes inconvenient for the system. This pushes people to look for a form of property they can truly own and control themselves. Ultimately, both inflation and increasing controls lead to the most damaging failure of all, the complete collapse of trust. Trust is the invisible glue that holds our society and its institutions together. We trust that banks are solvent. We trust that governments are prudent. We trust that the system is fair. A crisis exposes that this trust may have been misplaced. When you see institutions failing to protect your wealth or actively restricting your freedom, you stop believing in their promises. You start looking for a system that doesn't require you to trust anyone. You look for a system based on mathematical proof, one that is transparent, one that is verifiable, and one that operates on rules enforced by code rather than by fallible human beings. In the face of this widespread system failure, Bitcoin offers something radically different. It doesn't try to fix the old systems. It doesn't lobby governments or run advertising campaigns promising a better future. It doesn't have a leader to reassure the public or a board of directors to issue a press release. Bitcoin does something much more powerful. It just runs. It continues to process transactions. It continues to add blocks to its chain. It continues to issue new currency according to a schedule that was set in stone over a decade ago. It operates with the unfeeling, predictable reliability of a natural law, like gravity, like the rising of the sun. This unwavering predictability is its greatest strength in a world of uncertainty. Bitcoin's power comes from its nature as a protocol, not a company. Think of it like the rules for the internet itself, or the rules for sending an email. These are foundational protocols that just work, allowing anyone to build on top of them without asking for permission. Bitcoin is a protocol for value. Its rules are transparent, open source, and available for anyone to inspect. The most important of these rules is its monetary policy. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. This stands in stark, silent opposition to traditional currencies, where the supply is elastic, unpredictable, and subject to the whims of a small committee of central bankers making decisions behind closed doors. This fixed supply schedule is not just a technical detail. It is the core of Bitcoin's value proposition during times of chaos. While central banks are printing trillions to stimulate their economies, effectively devaluing the savings of their citizens, the Bitcoin protocol continues to issue a known, decreasing amount of new coins every 10 minutes. This digital scarcity is absolute and verifiable by anyone running the software. It provides an anchor of certainty in an ocean of monetary chaos. It means that no one, not a government, can arbitrarily inflate the supply, not a corporation, and not even its creator. This is why people fleeing hyperinflation find it so compelling. It's a lifeboat with a guaranteed capacity. The transition to a system like Bitcoin is therefore not a reaction to a single event, but a steady migration toward reliability. People don't necessarily choose Bitcoin because they love its technology. They choose it because they are losing faith in the alternatives. Bitcoin doesn't need to react to a crisis because it was built with the assumption that systems eventually fail. It doesn't adjust its course based on the news. It simply continues to execute its code. It offers a global, neutral, and predictable financial base layer. It is this relentless, unchangeable nature that makes it such a revolutionary force, not through loud proclamations, but through its quiet, unstoppable operation. Part 2. Act 1. What Chaos Reveals. Section 1. The Slow Burn of Inflation. Section 2. When the Gates Slam Shut. Section 3. The Erosion of Trust. Section 4, a search for solid ground. Section 5, the need for neutrality. Section 6, from abstract fear to tangible action. Before we wrap, if this helped, tap like and subscribe for more.